This is Ace with RockRevolt magazine. I am here with Robert of Machine Supremacy. How's it going today, bud?
It's pretty good. How's it going on your end?
Going good, going good. So are you back home there in Sweden right now?
Yeah, back in the cold.
Back in the cold. Well, you know, I actually looked up the weather, at least in Stockholm, before we call it. Looks like it's, what, 4 degrees there?
Yeah, I wonder what we got here, though. This is about 1,000 kilometers from Stockholm. This is not quite the same, but it's not super cold, though. A few degrees below, maybe.
Right, I think we're at -2 right now where I'm at in Kansas City, Kansas.
All right. So you got winter.
Oh, yes. Yes, sir. We do get winter. Now, we're not going to get it as bad as you guys once it hits full force, but we get a nice taste of it here in the middle of the map. So let's talk about this Into the Nigh World album you guys are going to be putting out here. God, that's going to be coming out next Friday, a week from now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've actually been listening to it the last 2 days. It's a great album.
Do you like it?
I do, and what's funny is it's not only is, you know, the music good, it's that throwback to my childhood with that video game type music in the background.
Yeah. I think, like, it's easy to think that's a gimmick for us, but I think that's just what happens when you got a couple of nerds, you know, who really like metal and then like figure out a way to combine those things, and that's sort of where we're coming from.
Right, and I mean, how were you guys just sitting around and like, dude, okay, we're doing this, but wouldn't it be cool if we laid this over it? Now, is that a track being laid over, or do you guys have somebody actually playing that on a synth, or?
No, like how it came to be was just, I was actually, you know, when I was playing with music when I was growing up, like I think I was, by the time we did this, I was at the university already, and I bought this synthesizer that a Swedish company called Electron made, where they had put a synth chip, well, like the sound chip from an old computer, Commodore 64, they put that in a synthesizer. And I was playing around with that, and you know, I made some music, and around the time we met Jonas, the lead guitarist, or one of our guitarists. And what happened was I was playing with this music, sort of, it was way more electronic than I even had like a beat background, and he came over, he brought his amp and started playing these metal riffs, you know, started shredding to the music, and I was like, whoa. You know, it's like that moment when you just know that, okay, something just happened here, like we just found something. Like, I think we figured out that those kinds of sounds, like there's a certain sonic character or something to the retro 8-bit kind of synthesizer sound, the game sounds, that really blend well with guitars, I think. At least that's how I thought of it in the beginning, and I think that's still true. It really blends well. It works, at least for us. I mean, that's how I feel.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Now, like you said, being a nerd, you know, you guys being a couple of nerds and sitting around doing this, obviously you do have that video game, you know, inspired you. What were some of your favorites, man? What are some of your favorites to play? What do you still like to play?
Yeah, I think we don't really, I mean, I know there's a big community playing really old games still. Unfortunately, we're not, I mean, it happens, I'm sure, but we're playing more modern games now. I think for me, I'm just waiting to get this new The Last Guardian. I think it's on PlayStation, and I got some stuff I really want to play. But I'm the kind of gamer who I'll play the story stuff. While, you know, we have other people in the band, like Tommy, he still plays StarCraft 2. Like, you know, he's working his way up the league there, and so I mean, not a lot of retro gaming for us, sadly, these days. We sort of took hold of the sounds of that era,
right?
And we brought that with us. But
hey, you took the best parts of that era, you know, because I mean, the graphics obviously ain't what they were, but you know, you took the best parts. You know, you took that just that old school, you know, sound that came from those games that a lot of people are going to hear, and it's going to wake up their childhood and be like, holy shit, that's awesome, you know?
Yeah, I think, there's something to be said for nostalgia, which brings an additional level to something. But I'd like to think that we do it in a way so at least people who don't care or don't have those memories, they, hopefully it doesn't get in the way of them enjoying the music too. But yeah.
Right, and it's even like I believe. How would you say it? How do you guys pronounce that? Is that 27? Is that how you would pronounce that track on Into the Night World?
Yeah. It's really. I mean, naming it the way we did, it's even fucking with us. Like of course, you're supposed to say 27, but even spelling it is like every time you have to think. Like,
right.
Where's that?
Well, it's like instead of there also being a guitar solo on there, there's like a 8-bit synthesizer solo on that track. It was awesome. It caught me. I was like, holy crap, that is phenomenal. It's just great how you guys did that. You guys also just released the title track, Into the Night World. Looks like you guys just released that, today?
Yeah. It's like, an hour ago or something.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so that's got to be pretty exciting, man, leading up to the full-blown release, yeah?
Yeah, just it needed to, want to give something more, like you're really eager to get it out there, but you have to wait for the release, but want to throw something out, and we had done the Dragons thing, and then the guitar playthrough, and
right.
Just we had to push something more before album release, but still waiting to see the the feedback on the title track, and
right.
Really looking forward to next weekend, of course. Like that's one of the main things. Like the main event is just seeing the feedback pour in, and see what people are saying. That's a party for us, definitely.
Right, and luckily for me, I got to jump ahead and get to listen to it a little bit earlier. So Remember Me is actually my favorite track on this album.
All right.
I thought it was great, man. It just kind of that's when you're listening to something, you hear a song that just kind of captures you and just kind of grabs you. That was it for me, and it seems like to be kind of like a ballady type style on this, yeah.
Yeah, like I had someone told me that it's our first ballad, and I was like, what? What do you mean? We've done slow songs before, but they was like, no, but those weren't ballads. Those were just slow songs, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm not really sure what a ballad is, maybe, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I definitely agree. I think it's one of the best songs, and I think it's a curveball. I mean, there are probably a lot of Machine Supremacy fans who's going to be like, oh, what's going on here?
I don't think they'll be disappointed with it at all. I don't think they'll be disappointed with it.
Yeah, no, I hope so. I mean, it is very emotional, and there are a few people who have heard it before release, and I've gotten that you're not the first person to say, and yeah, just looking forward to seeing what people will be saying. Like the general public, this is going to be fun.
Now you guys did this album on your own. Went independent on this one. Got your own label thing going yourself.
Yeah.
You've been quoted as saying that doing this yourself has kind of helped re-energize, kind of spark you guys back up. How do you feel that doing? How why is that? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Why is doing it yourself giving you that power, giving you that fuel to that fire?
I think like when we got signed to, we released 2 albums on our own, or maybe it's like 1 album. Like we had some help with the absolute first one, which we then re-released ourselves, and then we released 1 album completely on our own, and then we got signed. And like at the time, it was really sweet to get signed. Like you get this, recognition from the industry, and just making albums. You just sort of sent the song somewhere, and everyone took care of everything. But I don't know, there was something about that we felt like it's really hard to explain. Like there were some difficulties with it. Like we want to do video game soundtracks and stuff too, and that got really complicated with because most bands who are on a label, they make music like albums and possibly get those songs licensed to games. But if you want to make custom music outside of your ordinary music, then it becomes sort of a legal matter that's a bit more complicated. Like how much is the label entitled to if you do music that's not a regular album, and those kinds of things. It got kind of annoying actually. And like the Spine Farm and Universal, they're been good to us, but at the same time, I don't know, it felt kind of confined in a way, and we had this sort of feeling that maybe, like, I don't know, if they want to continue, maybe we're gonna have to change the rules to set something out. And actually what happened was both the label and we were like, maybe this relationship has, run its course, so maybe we should part ways. And so it was like it came from both sides. And so I actually when I found this out, I told the band, and so I have good news and bad news. It's the same news, It was that kind of moment in a way.
Right, absolutely.
It's it's sort of fun because I don't know, there's something about doing it all on your own that's, there's something about being indie that's really cool. I mean, it's like when you're a kid and you sort of romanticize the whole getting signed thing, like it's, oh wow, that's the goal. So,
I made it. I got signed. I made it.
Yeah, but it's not a real goal. It's like an imagined goal because nothing actually just changes just by getting signed. It's still the same struggle. You have to work and you have to, get your music out there. And sure, you got some help, but you kind of realize the label only really wants to sell albums. They're not super interested in anything else. So
right.
So if you have other interests than that, then maybe, and I also think, with the way the world works now, the internet and everything, you don't have the same need for it. And for us, it was just like, let's see what happens if we do this on our own now. I mean, we've done the major label thing. Let's try one on our own and just see what happens. Because, I have a pretty good feeling, and we got some people helping us.
Yeah.
So it's not like we have to figure everything else out, completely. But at the same time, we did do it before. We have done it, and at that time it was more difficult, I think.
Right. And I mean, with technology nowadays.
I keep talking here, but
hey.
I want to explain the thing. Like I don't know why, but it just felt good. Like, okay, let's see what we can do. We're back to being David, in the David versus Goliath. Like, let's see what happens. Let's be, the small indie player. Let's, because we've always been DIY. Like, we've done it ourselves most of the time. Even under major label, we kind of worked in a different way because they kept telling us, like, so next album, you guys want to, should we rent a studio space for a few weeks and you get that done? And we were like, no, we kind of liked doing it, at home and doing it over a long period of time. So maybe you could send us some equipment and such. And
right.
So we sort of, even under the major label, we maintained this, DIY attitude in a way. It's just the whole releasing the albums and all that kind of, that was sort of a black box for us. We didn't really know what was happening. We didn't really know how it was promoted or anything. I'm sure, it was fine in most ways, but we were kind of detached from that process, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So it's a bit, it's different now. It's kind of, there's something to doing it yourself. That's I think a lot of people who have, like, if you get new artists who still maintain the idea that getting signed is the goal, I think they, I don't know, if I could send a message to those people, it would be kind of, you should enjoy actually the situation you're in right now, because the whole getting signed thing, maybe you don't even need it. Maybe this is the way to go. In the world, the way it looks now. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about
It's pretty sweet in many ways.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about your fan base. Your fan base really doesn't care whether you're signed to a label or you did it yourself if they love your music. So not having that label and building the fan base, that's all about you. So at the end of the day, that's great. It's all about making that fan base. Like I said, they don't care what you're signed to. And I loved your David reference. Because with today's technology, you're David with a machine gun instead of a rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is set up for the Davids out there in the world. I think that's a great analogy that you made there.
Yeah, you can imagine that Goliath is walking around being clueless right now.
Exactly.
All the Davids are a bit too fast for him.
Goliath's like, what the hell happened here? Where did they get this stuff? Yeah.
It's like the 21 Jump Street when the jock comes back to school after things have changed, and it's like, hey, you gotta beat up the gays, and the gays are like, hey, that's not right, and everyone, he's not cool anymore because the world has changed.
Exactly.
I just love that part of that movie because it's so cool. the guy who used to be popular is like completely out of touch.
Yeah, he has no idea what
In the
popular
new
is
ways.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
side note, but yeah, I hear you.
You guys are going to be coming over here, and it looks like spending the month of January in the States.
Yes,
Looks-
that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, you looking forward to that?
I definitely do. Well, we played 2 times in National Harbor, the MagFest event, but we have never toured in the U.S., so
Nice.
that'll be awesome.
Looks like there's a couple dates you're going to be playing with Psycho Stick.
Yeah. And what's funny is, like, I've never met them or talked to them, but one of my friends that I talk to daily is the girl who does their artwork and their, merch and stuff.
Right.
So it's like it's just a funny coincidence because we didn't set that up. That just sort of happened through I don't know who hooked us up with them and how that happened, but I guess Continental Concerts maybe.
Make sure one
but
of
it's
those.
just funny how like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like I know someone they know.
Yeah. Make sure you one of those nights. Make sure you watch their show because they are hilarious.
Oh, I intend to. I started studying up on their music when I realized we were going to play with them. And it's one of those things I've been meaning to do because I know, this girl who works with them. It just never really happened before, but now I started listening. Yeah, they definitely seem like a fun bunch.
Oh yeah, they're good guys, real nice guys. I've had the pleasure of getting to see them live a few times, and they're great guys. And their live show is just funny. I mean, it's like a comedy metal show, and it's fantastic. It is so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have 5 chances, I think, to see them. I'm definitely gonna jump all over that.
Nice.
I mean, this is gonna be fun for us. It's we have not toured enough to have that be, that's not boring for us. I mean, it's amazing every time we do it, and we also, we make a big point to go out and meet the fans, just because it seems like if we didn't, that would be a missed opportunity. Meeting the people who come and enjoy your music and the people who talk about you online. Like if you can meet those people in person, that's just, to me, that's a privilege. Like I love doing that.
Yeah, and that's really one of my favorite parts about the music industry today, and your Davids that are out there, is, back in the day, 20 years ago when I was going to concerts, I never got the chance to, after the show, go up and talk to, the people of the band after they got done playing. It seems like now, more and more today, after the shows, man, they just come out and hang out. You guys come out and hang out with the fans, and it's such a good experience for people nowadays in the music industry.
Yeah, I think that's I guess people have figured out. Of course, maybe if you were Guns N' Roses in the '90s, you couldn't do that because it would be insane. But
true.
but for most bands who are not at that level, you can. I guess people have realized that this is a win-win situation. I mean, the fans are just loving it, and it's not horrible to be a person in a band getting all that praise and appreciation. So I don't know. It feels like there's just nothing wrong with it. It's a good thing.
No.
Of course, you will get the people who will, of course, discuss endlessly with you why you didn't choose certain things and didn't play certain songs, but. That's okay too. Like that's a small price to pay for that kind of hangout.
It lets you know that they know your music inside and out is what that does.
Yeah, it's definitely a compliment. Like here's someone who spends a lot of time thinking about specific things. Like you even get these, people who have a bunch of theories about stuff, how stuff is connected, and So I mean, I love that
awesome.
too. It's awesome.
Well, man, before we let you get on about your day, is there anything you'd like to say to the fans? Let everybody know. Let us know over here in the States before you come see us. Let us know how to get a hold of you, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, you can, if you want to talk to us, that's easy. We monitor all our own channels. Like, there's no one handling that for us. So, if you tweet us or message us from Facebook or even email us, that message comes to us. So that's, how to get in touch with us. And beyond that, I mean, the greatest favor you can do right now for us is, help spread our songs. And, we still want to reach a lot of people. We want people to hear our music. We want to hear what people think about our music. And the fact that people have been good at now at spreading our music, and that's why we get the chance to come to the US and play. I know there are people who've been waiting, for 10, maybe 15 years to see us live, in the US. And even though we've been to Magfest, not everyone can go to a big festival and check out just for one band. And
right.
People have to travel and such. So I mean, it's because of the fans and the people who care about this that we get to go now, and that's, we're really grateful, and that's amazing. But keep spreading the word, and hopefully good things for everybody in the future. I mean, so yeah, talk to us. We're the people watching, so to speak, and help spread the word. That's my message.
Right on, man. Well, December 16th, new album, Into the Night World. Pre-order right now on iTunes, so let's get that done. Let's get some pre-orders going and go out and see you guys in January, man. Robert, I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to meet everyone, including you, if you have the chance to come out.
Right on, man. Absolutely. Well, Robert, thank you so much, bud. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, sir.